and that's Selena. And I think Falcon's going to do the same thing here. They ban out the Kufra. Probably not another one.
Maybe like a Cho or something?
Probably not another one of Chaknu's heroes. I really hope they don't do that.
But either way, I do have to say, right, because this Irrital pick, I kind of like the Irrital pick just because...
What do you know?
Your team.
Oh,
I'm what a surprise.
No. The thing why I like the Irrital is because you yourself said the Grog can stop the Claude ult, right? The moment he gets knocked up, then that's over. So I feel like they are worried that that might happen. So they might as well just opt for a marksman that does not really get disrupted. Like, yes, the Grog going up onto any marksman, they're going to cry for help, right? But at least for the side of Claude, at least he won't cry for help and then waste his ultimate.
Yeah, and on to top of it all, I feel like the Yeeth pickup coming in from either Omega or even Falcon is pretty good as well. But
I called the
good
Cho.
read with the Cho as well. We've seen this happen coming from Changnu, and he is going to look for those catch.
He's trying to show his phone, but it's not horizontal. Okay, one more time. Oh, never mind. The camera panned away.
Oh, but look at this. Actually, the Paquito picked up here with the Kagura. We saw this yesterday up against Omega. Gary picked up the Paquito.
Yeah.
And we're seeing it here. They won in that game.
The Paquito is very strong against an assassin jungler. Right now, for the side of Omega, if they do pick up an assassin jungler, perhaps the Paquito is going to really shine. But are they going to pick up an assassin jungler?
I think right now the assassins are what's left, right? We already have the Akai banned out, the Fanny as well here. He can go for a Lancelot here for Ryzen. Ling is open, and I think that's what Falcon are trying to push him into. And that's exactly what we're going to get. The Ling comes through for Omega, one of the signature picks, Ryzen.
Yeah, I was hoping maybe a Damus jungle matchup, but at the same time, Ling isn't too bad against when it comes to split crossplay engagements coming from Smart Omega. But I feel like if one wrong move on the Ling, that means that's going to be the full KO punch coming from Paquito, and Falcon Esports is going to be able to shut them down. So hopefully, with 2 games down in the back, Falcon Esports will rise up from the ashes as a Phoenix, heading into his game number 3, and that is going to be the game to watch, because this is going to be the decider match point for Smart Omega, or will Falcon Esports draw it out for a long-drawn battle of a series?
What Omega needs to do is win.
Exactly, and I feel like that is what Omega will do, because you know why? Because they're so strong. Now we're going to come into the game of Falcon going up against Smart Omega. I want to see the level of aggression. I want to see this Grog shine. I want to see this Grog pummel Omega to the ground.
Caster Curse. But back at it again, Land of Dawn. Ladies and gentlemen, Falcon versus Smart Omega. In the early stage, I would actually think that Falcon will have the early game advantage here, knowing that, again, Ken, on Paquito, really good against Assassins. We know how good he is. On the Paquito, we haven't really seen him, though, so far on this Paquito and MSC.
Yeah, and as of now, seeing how Changnu is just being very, very annoying, he's just applying so much pressure, and I'm a little bit surprised that Naomi is not doing anything in this regards, but Changnu, he might be actually get caught out. Falcon going to be forcing a flicker coming in from him, but Naomi disengaging Justin, overcommitting, he's going for an auto attack, and he gets first blood from Justin, and that's going to be the retreat coming in. Kelra going to be providing a little bit of assistance to actually fight this forced issue, and Omega, they are going to trade 1-for-1.
That's huge, again, for... I mean, both teams getting the junglers some pressure, right? Some kills here on the board. It is actually Justin who picks it up. So I believe it's still worth it for Omega here. Silent just hits onto Ryzen, just doesn't really want him to take any of the jungle in his territory. So both teams resetting once again, but Omega with the lead.
Yeah, I feel like it's also partly the psychological factor, right? Like, you want to slow down Ken to make sure that he doesn't punish his Ryzen in any kind of rotation, but it's also showing that, hey, I'm a roamer here, and I will show you that I will control where you go, right? The psychological factor, we have to key that in. Shout out to mental health.
Where did that come from?
Shout out to mental illness, man. Come on, give some awareness.
All right. You know, a little bit of awareness coming from LaFell, I get it. But now, speaking of the match as of now, 1-1, Smart Omega, they are playing a little bit slow. I'm a little bit surprised that Ryzen is just keeping it down on the low as of yet on the top side. And the top turtle is going to be a very big priority. And Falcon Esports, they always tentatively win the first engagements. And I feel like Omega, they don't really want to take the risk. Ryzen, however, doesn't have the purple buff. He might be jeopardized as well. Red Tail is going to try and harass Yellow Flash. Is it going to be the setup coming in? Yellow Flash forced the flicker out. But here comes the Temple's Blade. And they do get the Retribution steal on the turtle from Falcon. But they have to disengage Omega. They're forcing the issue. But into Max, he steals the wall charge, stops them in their track. But no follow follow-up coming in from Omega. E2max, he's gonna be caught out. He needs to make a run. Here comes the counter! Wall charge. I am the real Croc, Naomi.
There you go, Falcon with the kill here, traded in for the side of Falcon. They also secured the turtle, so this is just really, really good. As Ken looking for more on to that top side. Ryzen does pick up the gold buff, but will lose his jungle camps right now. It's Falcon with the lead, but again, this is not where they're supposed to be comfortable with, right? 3,000 gold lead, that's the cap that they should be comfortable with, that they should be looking for as they try to put some pressure onto that gold lane.
The turrets, man, the turrets, like even if you get the kills, you need to make sure that you get the turrets down. Right now, even if you don't push it to the end, you gotta make sure that Ryzen doesn't get to farm comfortably because again, this Ling in the later stage of the game is gonna be so annoying. So I gotta feel like you gotta slow Ryzen down a little bit or try to focus on Kara. But the thing is, they've tried to focus on Kara, it really didn't work out. So I want to see them control the jungle and control one part of the map and then try to snowball that. Try to set it up to make sure that Ken can dish out a lot of damage and Justin as well as Silent will not get targeted by either E2max or Ryzen.
I agree, and here it is, right? The winning lane for Yellow Flash. He goes for the Abyssum Strike actually, and Renzio is forced back. With this, you can actually see that Ken is starting to play on that top side, not really going for that bottom side. It's a 3-2 formation currently, as Justin is also looking for a pick down below. Kelra, though, again, just so aware. Game 1, Game 2, we saw this, but Game 3, it's still present.
Yeah, it's all about playing it safe, and this is what Smart Omega likes, right? Play it safe, drag this to the later stage of the game, and then come up on top. Because eventually Falcon, they have a very, very small timing window, but at the same time, they have to get kills in order to snowball. In this case, Ken, as of now, he's got 2 assists so far, and he needs a little bit more. This second turtle is going to be very, very crucial for Omega to come in for contest. But as of yet, he has won pretty much all the retributions. Right, here comes the burst down. As soon as I say it, the casters could come in. Ryzen gets caught out, and that's going to be Falcon coming up on top with that. However, Silent did get picked off on the bottom side, though.
I agree, and this is what Omega needs to do, right? In the early stage, I feel like they should just avoid these fights. Don't go for the turtles aggressively, and just as I say that, they go in, they go for the kill, and Ken picks it. I mean, Ken gets picked off here. Yellow Flash looking for the trade, but he actually goes in a little bit too aggressive. Might be just targeted down by Renzio, who is going to just, zone them away from that mid lane.
Right now, looking at Yellow Flash, I'm worried a little bit about him because his power spike is slowly going away. And right now, Ryzen, I believe that he managed to get a purple buff there. So right now, for the side of Falcon, Yellow Flash, he really needs to make sure that he can handle Renzio because Renzio is the big problem for the side of Omega. So again, like, I'm just looking at Yellow Flash, man. He has to do something against Renzio. Because so far, I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, it's very difficult as well, considering that Yellow Flash is just getting bullied out of the lane here, and he couldn't even close up the map. That's why they've got Ryzen just running around the map, and Falcon needs to find an opportunity to slow down this aggression. And so far, they've got 1 kill on Ryzen, but they cannot lose Silent in the process. They need to somehow help Silent and also slow down Ryzen's aggression.
So you kind of look at the trend here so far in this series. The team who usually falls behind in the early stage will be able to come back. And let's see if Falcon can actually replicate the same thing that Omega did back in Game 1 and Game 2. 500 gold lead to Omega, even though they don't really have that neutral objective control just yet. But the top side, Yellow Flash looking for the play. Ken here to follow it up. Renzio has the sprint. Very good disengage.
Yeah, but again, I feel like we do have to talk about that point about coming from behind because for both these teams, they're looking very... Okay, Justin almost got engaged by E2max, but the thing is, it's a horror movie. We gotta look at this series like a horror movie, especially here, E2max using the Valentina, get a little bit of a scare here. Whoever is behind, they need to figure out a way to capitalize the mistake from the victor because sometimes people who are aggressive, they're overly aggressive because this is the things that some bullies, they don't really understand that when the nerd grows up, he might be the guy you don't want to mess with.
He might be the bodybuilder.
He might be the bodybuilder.
Yeah.
He might be Naisu.
Oh, man. I think he is Naisu at this point, right? Everyone in the part of the map where they have map control, actually, sometimes they kind of lose out. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's not Naisu.
It's not Naisu?
No, it's not Naisu. But look at this! Wild charge onto E2max. It's going to be Falcon who gets the pick off as Ken goes over the knockout strike. But look at Kelra! He gets bursted down. Silent is no longer silent! He flickers forward for the flashy play, and there you go! You aim high, you fly high, and you get the kill.
Oh, that is a beautiful response coming from Falcon as well, and that's the beauty of the Grog. You go in for the flicker engagement with the wall charge, and you get the right target, it is going to completely shut down Omega, and that's the downside of having the Irritail, right? Once you get caught, it's hard to disengage. Ryzen, however, a little bit jeopardized as of now. You can see Justin completely shut him down. E2 Max going for the steal, forced to steal the wall charge and back off. So that's going to be a little bit of aggression forced out, but Falcon giving a little bit of hope for the Falcon fans to come up on top in this game.
Well, looks like Yellow Flash up here is going to net up against Renzio, and there's no way that he can survive this. I was about to say, I like what Falcon is doing over their victory. They're trying to get the side lane wins. Silent managed to get one of the turrets. However, we see Yellow Flash tried but failed. But to be fair, it's not completely his fault because 3 people came over him, and what can you really do, right?
Yeah, it's just going to be really, really hard right now for Falcon. Because, again, yes, they have the gold lead, they have the neutral objective control, but Omega, they're just stalling once again for Renzio, for Kelra this time around, and Kelra's on the Irritail. Looking at the compositions here, Irritail, when left alone, is going to be really, really dangerous, but Justin here going in for Chaknu. Chaknu trying to go for the re-engage here, maybe perhaps going for away the dragon, but he decides not to do that, not overcommitting. He knows that Falcon might be looking for something in the mid lane. Knockout strike by Ken, that's a lot of base damage coming through, but both teams just reset.
Yeah, the amount of damage that Falcon is dishing out in terms of this poking war, they are coming up on top. But as soon as they go for this poking fights, Omega, they immediately trade cross-map plays, and that's annoying to deal with because the biggest threat right now is going to be Ryzen. Look at the positions on what Ryzen is doing as well. He's making for cross-map plays, trying to buy a little bit more time for Kelra, and that's exactly what Smart Omega is doing. And I don't think Falcon should be letting this slide, and now they are going to force the issue, but the disengage from Omega, now they have to focus on the tier 2, the counter wall charge comes in, and but from the side, Renzo gets a big catch on Falcon, and Silent, he is also going to be caught out, and Smart Omega completely turns the tides. They get 4, they're looking for the 5th, and that is going to be a wipeout by Smart Omega.
A wipe out for Smart Omega. They find the fight once again here. 1,000 gold lead, and look at the timing. They instantly go and convert onto 2 objectives. Ryzen onto the Lord, Omega, the rest of them here onto that mid lane turret.
Omega, I just feel like they got like a tarot card reading because they anticipated the engage coming in from the side of Falcon because we saw how fast the disengage was. They were waiting, and once Naomi actually engaged, everyone disengaged, forcing Falcon to actually overextend. We're going to look at the replay, but look at all the reaction time coming in from the side of Omega. This is too fast. They knew exactly what was going to happen. Everyone disengaged, and look at the re-engage coming in from the side of Renzio, and then they instantly focus on to Silent. This was telegraphed. They knew what was going to happen. They were waiting for Falcon, so Falcon, unfortunately, they got baited out.
They waited too long, in my opinion. I mean, they overextended is what I'm trying to say here. They got the mid lane turret. They took it away. Yes, Naomi got sacrificed, but that's a roamer. I feel like they should have just went back because of the timers again on that Lord. Lord was just so, it was like 5 seconds or 10 seconds from being up, and yet they decide to fight after burning their resources on trying to take the turret. Now, they're in the back seat. Again, Omega, they're the ones in control here. They're going to be able to push that Lord in, although it's very good defending from Falcon. I feel like it's just going to be really, really tough for them as Omega will just put on a show here and might just go for the base turrets.
Well, A2 Max now going to be stealing the wall charge once again. However, Chaknu just got his anti-Kira, so Silence ultimate is going to have a little bit of a deficit later on in this team fight. So that's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle once again. However, if and only if Silent is able to get that pick off against A2 Max or even maybe even Ryzen in the one-shot combo, that might be the saving grace for Falcon Esports.
Right now, Omega, they're in prime position to close out the game, making it a 3-0. Looking at the players' goal right now, Ryzen, Renzio, as well as Kara have a lot of gold. Silent is not far off from Kara, but oh, look at this. What is Falcon doing? They're bunching up together. Make sure you guys don't say it too loud to make sure that the players don't know what's going on. Just whisper. Just whisper.
Well, it seems like they've shown their hands and Chaknu was able to scout things out. So they do have a rough idea what Falcon is trying to do. But the same can be said for Omega as well. Look at this. They're just waiting for the right opportunity. Ryzen is trying to play those kind of cross-map plays. But it seems like it all comes down to this next Lord fight. 60 seconds of waiting game, and they're not even shoving the lane. They just don't want to give the economy into its Falcon's favor. But before that, let's take a look at the quick items before the next fight begins.
Yeah, let's take a look at the items here. We see that, actually, I thought that Ken would go for like a tankier build here. He actually went for literally all offense with the War Axe. That's a lot of penetration, actually.
Yeah, a lot of penetration is really good to make sure that Ryzen cannot do anything. Make sure he gets a lot of pain, and then he will feel the pain back in his own base. But the thing is, I kind of feel like for side of Ken, he needs a Bloodless Axe because you can dish out the damage, but you need to take the damage. That is a fire kind of mindset. It doesn't matter how much I deal, it's how much I receive, and then still get back up because you gotta be tanky. You gotta be, how the Malay say, you gotta be keras, you know? You gotta be hard enough to actually dish out the damage and take the damage.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? Being hard is the secret to success and making people happy, man.
Sustain.
It's all about sustains and making sure that your backlines are all the way safe and sound.
Well, they actually, Yellow Flash there, jumping in with the conceal, was looking for the back lines there, was looking to just engage from behind, but Omega, well, as you said, they were grass.
Yeah, no, Omega see it coming. Renzio is hoping for someone to engage onto it, but Naomi engages onto Kara, and Kara got popped off!
There you go. That's going to be actually Ryzen picking it up with the Tempest of Blades. He gets the Retribution. That's going to be Ying over to not connecting onto anyone. Justin, uncharacteristic as Silent goes in on the chocolate in the back lines. 1 for 1. And the Lord goes over again towards the side of Omega. They lose out on another Lord fight. They get the pick, but I don't think it's going to be enough here.
Oh, that was huge coming from Falcon Esports. They needed that kill on those Kara. It was good, but unfortunately, they also needed not just Kara, they needed the Lord on top of it all. So this is going to put them back once again. But Smart Omega, they're not, I would say it's not over yet for them. It's not a big deal. They've lost Kara one time, but with this Lord pressure, they can look to jeopardize inhibitors for this next fight. Renzio is trying his best to close out the game, but Falcon, they need to make another play like that. They need to catch Kara or Ryzen in this process.
How do they do that? That's the big question here. How do they find that opening? Because Omega, sure, yeah, Kelra was up there, was open for an engage for the side of Falcon, but they had to burn these resources, the battle spells coming in. Now that the battle spell is on cooldown for Naomi, Omega knows this, and they can actually go for the punish here. Chaknu, very, very aggressive into the enemy base. Falcon trying to defend, goes on to that top side as Yellow Flash and Justin tries to micromanage the minion waves in the mid lane. Ryzen just dealing the damage, Finch poisons away. They're slowly but surely poking these turrets down, sieging it down, and it's working. Because when they get this down, it's going to be the perfect timing for that Omega timer to pop.
Beautiful, beautiful defense as well. Even though it's 1 HP on the inhibitor, even though it's pretty much done and dusted, they tried their best to defend against this, to make sure that they do not give enhanced minion onto a Smart Omega. Even though Smart Omega can look to try and backdoor this, it's just not worth taking the risk, considering how quick of a reaction that Falcon Esports can look to punish. Arguably, having Beatrix or Omega would have helped them in this situation, but in this case, it's not. You know, Falcon, they are going to be able to punish it, especially with a wall charge coming with the Grok.
Stay on the items right now because we see Ken finally having the Bloodless Axe. And the thing is, for the side of Omega, it's only Esmeralda having the Dominance Ice. So as long as he can avoid the Esmeralda, he can actually do a lot of damage.
Yeah, and here you can really see, right? Chaknu is just opening up the map really, really well. He gets walled off, but he is a Cho. He has a lot of these dashes. The mobilities provide. Oh, the mobility is just so good. Even then, when they were able to wall Chaknu down, it's them who were zoned away from their own purple buff. And Omega, they just pick it up for free. That's a purple buff uncontested by Falcon.
Ooh, difficult times, but Falcon Esports, it's not over yet. They need the Hearth Claw up on Silent later on, especially due with this Blade Armor defense. But the question remains, they have a solution for Kelra. Oh, Kelra, he got the Hearth Claw, but who is going to be in charge on making sure that Ryzen that doesn't get out of control? Because eventually, it's either Ryzen or Kara that needs to be taken out. And so far, it's been very, very difficult. Look at the cross-map plays coming in, but on the bottom side, Falcon Esports, they are going to make an attempt, and they are going to get a kill on Renzio. This is huge. However, on the top side, Ryzen is going to go for the backdoor and take the top inhibitor.
Yeah, and because of that now, Falcon, they're scrambled positioning-wise, and Justin, he's all alone. Ryzen reads it perfectly, and Justin will fall. Chaknu with the Jikundo finding it, and into Max. What was that? He dashes through the wall, and that was just such a clean steal and read from Omega.
Oh, from behind, Ken looking for the combo. He almost missed it. Kara does have the cast claw. Is going to try and go for the Jeopardy. He does have the ultimate available. So that's a big ultimate taken out of his equation. However, the Lord is going to be the bigger picture as of yet. Justin is 20 seconds on the sideline. Silent, however, looking for the prime position. But it's just so very risky considering that Chaknu still has the way of the dragon.
Dude, this dance around the Lord is super stressful, man. Justin is up, Ryzen, as well as Renzio is up. It looked like Omega, they have prime position. Are they actually going for a fight? Look for Chaknu. Chaknu is invisible. He's looking for a target, but he has not found anyone just yet.
Oh, it's going to be Yellow Fast dashing in. Chaknu finds Silent. He kicks them back, and the engage just pops there. It's going to be Ryzen jumping again. Justin trying to find the picks, but will not be able to. Kelra picks up a double. Ryzen wants his own. He jumps into Justin. He goes for it, and Renzio is the one who takes the double. One shot Omega. They're looking for the end now. 20 seconds on the death timers. Naomi will not be here to defend. Omega with a 10,000 gold lead. 17 minutes in. Just perfectly timed for that Omega timer to tick. 3,